All right, hello there. I'm Jared here. I'm a student at the TAD School or Bemidji State University. Today, I want to show you my project I did for my advanced studio class. So it's about a experience. So the experience I wanted to make is experiencing the refugee life through the Hmong story. So going on, I've got my goal. My project is just make a life-changing design that would make people doubt their own beliefs. So one topic I was thinking of is the Hmong story, but I didn't know how to really make that into really a interactive walk that would be fully purposeful besides just awareness. So I wanted to be based off in telling the story about Hmong people as being used to understand refugees. So my main focus was refugees and using the Hmong story to aid that or be the vehicle for it. So just going on to here, I some of my brainstorming. I went through a lot of different processes and ideas how I want people to experience a space. One thing I had to think is just think off the experience and then think how my experience is gonna be designed for the structure or how the structure is gonna be designed for the experience. So with that, I kind of got an idea of what I wanted and stuff. So I came up with my concept. So concepts we go over is our mission, vision, and theme. So for our mission, I wanted to create an amazing and interactive way to tell the refugee story by using the Hmong people story. And then it was going to be around 40 to 90 feet and we'll have an interactive walk also which I changed to become a event for the space. So the objective is just to make people rethink their beliefs about refugees or truly understand what refugees are and what they go through. For the mission or for the vision, it's kind of like the dream statement, but here's my vision. It's to create a space where attendees can come and learn about refugees by following the story of Hmong people, for the example. Attendees will go through a walk containing information based on the refugees within an interactive walk that goes through the Hmong people's history. After walking and being educated in the space, attendees would gain another perspective about refugees through the interactive. This space's goal is to just make people question their own thinking and beliefs on refugees. And then my theme is experience of refugee life through the Hmong story. Going on is going to be the first view. As you can see, the front angle view is kind of like showing the front in a sketched view. Next is going to show the back portion. And then next right here is just more detailed shots with the roof taken off so you can see the inside of the building. Going on right here, you can see I had the more interactive room in depth over there where majority of the interactive stuff is going to be going on and people spend most of the time at. So the top view, you can see that as well. And then right here is top view just going through each individual room. So right here is just the entrance and waiting room. Going on right here is the first video viewing room. Right here is the top view of the main interactive room. So you have little fake rice paddy fields made of LEDs. You have bamboo that's going to be making little maze or walkthrough for people. And you have a little hut or house like how Hmong people lived back in the day. Going on right here is the next top view showing the secondary viewing room, which is going to be within like a wreck or mocked up airplane just to simulate flight and transportation. And then right here is going to be like the serving table, also known as like the checkup station for the event. Now right here is the end room. So right here is where we had leftover items and stuff for people to take away and take with them. That's the last room they would all be in before they leave. Right here is just going over the technology. Like again, the little rice paddy fields are also going to be LED floor panels. And right here, more technologies, just information boards. Some information boards are plain information boards just going around telling things about the space and what people went through. And then some are pickups or drop-off stations as well for the interactive or the event. Right here's the marketing graphics. I had the poster there. I have some of the wall graphics on this other side and where they're applied. Right here's a more marketing graphics. So one of the main ways for marketing this is probably gonna be through Facebook or over social media. One thing with doing a lot of work with Hmong people are always proud to share whatever works Hmong people have done. So I'm for sure if this does go through, that wouldn't be a problem. So going on is just the item mockups. These are the 4 items that would be in the space that people could have and keep and go through, and it's also part of the event as well. Another thing that was just required for this class, just to design a skateboard deck. So right here, I just want to play with typography for a bit and just do a vertical lines and add in some of the Hmong tapestry and just do a lot of playing on with fonts and stuff. So now for the event, the interactive walk. So this would be when the show for or the big old exhibit is first placed in the space. This would be like the first opening or welcome thing that would go on for a couple hours, and also be the event that would end with it for the day. So phase one, this is when people go into the first viewing room. This would be a 2 to 3 minute video going over the quick history of the Hmong people. So it would go over talking about how Hmong people lived in China and how they moved out. And then we'll go through and talk about the walk and how you'd interact with the next room. And right here is where you'd be gifted 4 items. So the items you saw earlier, the bag, the book/journal, the shirt, and snacks. So moving on to phase two, now is where you'd go into the main interactive room. So when people go into this room, they have all their items and they go through, and for them to continue go through and move on with the maze, you're going to have to give up some of your items, and that would be the sacrifice going on to go travel throughout there. So while you're doing all that, you have 7 minutes in here. So within those 7 minutes, like I was saying earlier, you have the LED floors, but not just the LED floors, you have lighting fixtures and audio. So throughout that time, it's going to be beginning is going to be very peaceful and very nice. You can see the plants growing through the LED floors and stuff. But then slowly you get a darker feel and more destroyed feel as the plants start to get disjoined and lightning and storms start to go on. So the audio and lighting would play with that. And then once it gets to end, the whole room would black out. So once it gets to that point, you would most likely already be at that airplane. And then phase three is just going to be on the airplane. So this is the last, or going to be the second viewing station. So once you get onto the plane, you're going to be seated down like you're being an immigrant, or being like the Hmong people when you had to fly away from war. Since that room, what we wanted with that last room, we wanted people to interact with and go through, and we wanted it to represent how Hmong people lived their life there, but then soon over war, they had to move away. That's why we kept that 7 minute change within the room to keep it peaceful and start to get destroyed and stuff, just to represent that. But now here is going to be the second video. It's going to be talking about how Hmong people were able to travel and get out of war-torn places like Laos and Thailand. And then for this part, it's going to talk about why you would lose your items since you were giving them out. So it kind of brings up the question of why would you get these items taken away from you when you're going through the experience already now. So it's going over kind of being like how refugees would go through their lives and trying just to survive and move on, because refugees are always people that are people of war and trying to leave and stuff. And one thing that's always important with those people is their culture. And the thing with culture, we have, I say 4 things with culture is home, their language, their traditional clothing, and food. And each of those items both represent that, as you can see here. So the bag would represent the home because it keeps everything together. The book and journal is representative language, and then the shirt is representative traditional clothing, and the snack is for food. So that just kind of represents how people sacrifice all these things just to go to a better life, and how they kind of lose their culture on the way there, but they still always have it. It's just something that always kind of slowly dies away or ends up getting lost. And then now going on to the next station, you go on to phase 4, which is kind of the end of this room. So before that, you kind of go through this little system of this little line to check in and see if you would have been people that actually made it. So one thing is it's going to be based on your item count. So if you were able to go through and you still had items, we'd say you wouldn't have made it because you didn't sacrifice your all. But then if you were able to get to the check-in and have no items, you would be sent through a way that says you did make it. And then now within this phase 4 would just be in the back room where people could collect these items again and want to take them back, since we didn't want to just give you all those and give you high hopes and take those all away. So this is kind of just more of a rejoice room, and just to reflect and see the understanding of that whole experience. Going on, you could see the untouched renders without the editing I had earlier, just to give a better clear view. Another view of that as well. Going on, another view of the outside untouched as well. Right here's the overview, is that again another overview. And then thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed. So thank you.